Carmine P says he knew he was going to do well in rock and roll because he used to practice his signature. Is that nurture or nature? Is it a little bit of both, perhaps? You get an inkling that there's a possibility that you can do that thing, whatever that thing is. And of course, you take the steps. Dreamers don't take the steps, they think about it. Carmine Appice, he did the work. We talked to him about that and a lot more on Rock History Music. So let's just say you're in an office and you're in a waiting room and someone's beside you. And I'm not saying that recognize you or don't, but they're going to say, hey, strike up conversation. And then he says, what do you do? If you open that can of worms.
I'll say I'm a I'm a rock drummer. Oh yeah. Who'd you play with? I played with Vanilla Fudge. I never heard of those guys. Okay. I played with Rod Stewart. Oh. When did you play with Rod Stewart? Like that. I usually go from the beginning to the middle. You know, I got funny with this new look I have. I stopped dyeing my hair, and my wife said, "Why don't you comb it back?" And now I look like a mafia guy, especially if I put the sunglasses on. I'm Joe Mafia. And I'm at the store in Florida. Young girl's packing up. She goes, "Are you a movie star?" I said, "No, I'm a rock star." So hold on.
Even though you started very young, if I was to whisper in, let's just say, your 15-year-old ear when you were 15 years old that this would happen, would you have believed it in a million years?
No. But even though when I was 12 and I first started playing drums, I used to sing in doo-wop groups in Brooklyn. I used to practice my autograph because I used to say, one day I'll be signing autographs because my big idol was Gene Krupa. And the Gene Krupa story, I watched in there. He was signing autographs all the time, and I said, I'm going to come up with an autograph. So I had sort of like a premonition that I was going to somehow make it. Somehow, I didn't know how or why or to what extent. I definitely have gone further than my childhood dream. I am so proud of the album and really proud of the drum sound and the energy that's on the album. Because the fact that I did it in my house.
How'd you get that drum sound, by the way? Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Well, I learned from Andy Johns. I work with Rod and other projects. The placement of the microphones to get that sound. I have two bass drums out of 1971 Cactus bass drums. Funny enough, they're 1 inch bigger than most bass drums. And I have great toms from D drum that I play. And I have a Radio King Slingerland snare drum from 2004. And every drum sounds great on their own. And then with the miking that they taught me, and then I give it to my engineer, Pat, and he fine tunes it. And we come up with this monster kick-ass, present but big ambient drum sound, and it's some of the best drum sounds I've gotten on record, I think. I can say that, and Guitar Zeus and Pat Regan did Guitar Zeus with me too. And it's fantastic drum sound. So, and then everything else, Pat's great at mixing, but the drum sound, I had to tape up some of my cymbals so they're not too loud because it's in a guest house. The drums are in what was the living room, right? The room mics are in, there's a double door and the drums are here, and there's the room mics on each side of the double door wall so that the sound doesn't go direct into the mics, it goes around to the mics. And they're low, so you don't get a lot of cymbals. So they had to tape up cymbals that were too loud, to make them just enough ring. Because I don't like cymbals that go like, I like them to be a quarter like boom, 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 and out, just to hear it, but not overpower. So by fine tuning all this over, I've had it there for like 4 years in August. I've been developing it. I'm the engineer for my drums. That's why it's recorded in my Realistic Rock Studios, which is named after my drum book, right? And my wife was called the Radio Chick in New York. So she's the Radio Chick Studios, and where the bedroom is. She does podcasts now, and you just learn what works and what doesn't work. I changed a couple of mics here and there, and the room sound. I mean, I went to my brother's house. He built the system for me. He's a computer geek. he built a computer, put together everything I needed to record. He sent it to me, and we went over to show me how to work it. And in his house, he's got all this stuff on the walls to soundproof. I don't have nothing. I just got gold records behind me, wall. I got a rug, and I got some curtains. And the sound in that room just sounds great. It's just one of them things. It sounds great. So that's it. So I'm enjoying playing in there. I got some things going on with Cleopatra, some different kind of projects have to do with AI, and yeah, I'm happy. I get to do stuff that's new. Like this Cactus album was a new experience. It was a new thing to try and do, even though I did it with guitars. This is different to do with everybody.
Yeah.
And just the drums were the only thing that was constant. You know?
You gave new meaning to this conversation to me, even though I know they were all there and I know why they were on the cover. The Sgt. Pepper thing I thought of right away, but it gives me new meaning about the fact that almost everyone they're fans. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of freaked out, you know. I mean, I had a feeling Joe Bonamassa was a fan because every time he'd play in town, McCarty would come and he'd bring him up to play. Now, I don't think he plays with him now because he's playing big arenas. But when he was coming up more, when he played like, 800 seat, 1,000 seat clubs, McCarty would go and play with him, or maybe a theater. But now he's playing arenas. So, yeah. But I knew he was. I knew Ted was. I knew King's X was. But there was some, like I said, that I didn't know. They were fine to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. Love the album and take good care of yourself, man.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
If you want to contribute to the channel, there's a PayPal link at the very top of the description. Also a link there for the brand new Cactus album that Carmine has just released with an all-star cast. You can join our Patreon. You'll get early access to all our videos. And go to our swag store. You can pick up a t-shirt at T-Top, a coat, hat, and a lot more with our logo on it. Subscribe to our channel, share our videos, comment on them, and like them as well. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.